Hi guys, today is July 17th and we are doing the second elimination technique today. Last time we did the first technique. The name was names have meaning, oblique words have meaning. So the summary of that technique is whenever any name, any word is given, is stressed upon by UPSC in any of the questions or statements, it has some meaning. So that is the crux of the technique. We did a few questions also last time. Today's technique is very closely related to the one we did last time. Today, we have the technique whose name is related, not related, RNR. Please open your notebooks and write down. Related, not related is the name of the technique. RNR is the acronym. Shall I explain what the technique is? Give me a thumbs up if you are ready. All right. So as the name suggests, very simply, it means if the question is about something, then any statement, in order to be correct, must be related to what the question is about, right? So the red lines or the boundaries of the statements are determined by what the question is talking about. So related, not related. Any statement, in order to be correct, has to be related what the question is talking about. And if it is not related, if it is talking about something else which is not being highlighted by the question, what is given in the question, maybe some organization, maybe some scheme name, policy name, law name, anything it could be, right? If it is not related to what the question is talking about, then that statement is has got a very high chance of being incorrect. If it is related to what the question is talking about, and if it is desirable, then it has got a very high chance of being correct. Very simply, this is the technique. Learning the technique, understanding it is very simple. Whatever techniques we will be discussing throughout these classes, this course, all of them are very organic, very simple to understand. But in order to ingrain them in your conscience, it requires a lot of practice and mistakes. So continue to practice questions, continue to make mistakes, and learn from your mistakes. That is the single most important thing. Just attending these classes and doing the questions which we are doing in the class will certainly not suffice in the exam, right? So related, not related, in your notebook, write down whatever statement is related to what the question is talking about has a high chance of being correct. And of course, it should be desirable. It should be related and desirable. Then it has a high chance of being correct. And if you have a statement which is not related to what the question is talking about or is undesirable, then it has a high chance of being incorrect. That's it. Shall I start with the questions? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Karishma, you want me to repeat? What do you want me to repeat? Can you please, should I repeat the description, what I said of RNR?
Yes, sir.
So very simply, it means when we have a non-standard question, when we have a question which is beyond what we have prepared, non-standard it should be, if the statements are related to what the question is talking about and are desirable, then they have a very high chance of being correct. If the statements are not related to what the question is talking about, or they are related but are not desirable, then the statements have got a very high chance of being incorrect. That's it. Should I start with the questions? Is it clear, Karishma? Okay. So the first question is, I'll be giving these questions on your free, the official channel, the free mentorship and the RDI official channel. Okay. So let us start with this question. I've given it in the official channel and you will now see it in the free mentorship channel also. Who wants to try it? Give me a, raise your hand. Give me a raised hand who wants to try this question. Karan, would you like to try? Okay, Karishma, chalo. Please open your mic and try this question. You have to read it out loud, Karishma.
So the question is with reference to the initiative called the Economics of Ecosystem
स्लो,
and
धीरे पढ़ो,
Biodiversity.
धीरे, इतना जल्दबाजी में पढ़ोगे तो मिस कर जाओगी क्वेश्चन के एनर्जी को. धीरे धीरे पढ़ो, पढ़ते पढ़ते समझना भी है ना उसको. स्लो. हाँ,
Okay,
रीड
sir.
अगेन.
Okay, sir. With reference to our initiative called the Economics of Ecosystems and Biodiversity, which of the following statement is are correct?
वेरी गुड. सो
So,
व्हाट डू यू अंडरस्टैंड बाय द
statement,
क्वेश्चन? स्टेटमेंट पे नहीं जाना है, पहले ये बताओ क्वेश्चन से क्या समझी. स्टेटमेंट्स की बात बाद में, पहले क्वेश्चन से क्या समझी. रिलेटेड, नॉट रिलेटेड, स्टेटमेंट्स के बारे में है, वर्ड्स हैव मीनिंग क्वेश्चन के बारे में है. तो बताओ
okay,
क्या
sir.
समझी
Okay,
क्वेश्चन
sir.
से.
So the I'm understand by this. So the economics of ecosystem biodiversity. सर इकोसिस्टम बायोडाइवर्सिटी से रिलेटेड इकोनॉमिक्स से पूछा गया है सर. जैसे कि कुछ
यस.
इनिशिएटिव हम जो लेते हैं और जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जो होती हैं
हाँ,
उससे रिलेटेड, जैसे बायोडाइवर्सिटी को कंजर्वेशन के लिए कुछ
यहाँ पे इकोनॉमिक्स
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन
का क्या
होती है
रोल हो सकता है?
सर.
इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ
और
इकोसिस्टम एंड बायोडाइवर्सिटी मतलब क्या?
सर इसका है जैसे कि कंजर्वेशन के लिए और बाकी इकोसिस्टम को बचाने के लिए हम जो जैसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होती है इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड, वैसे तो वो उससे रिलेटेड नहीं है लेकिन वो कर सकता है
नहीं,
ना, जैसे वर्ल्ड.
नहीं रिलेटेड नहीं है. कैसे? जब नाम में इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम, इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ एनीथिंग क्या होता है? किसी भी चीज का इकोनॉमिक्स मतलब क्या? नफा
और उसका
नुकसान, राइट?
इकोनॉमिकल
प्रॉफिट लॉस.
इम्पोर्टेंस.
यस, इकोनॉमिकल इंपॉर्टेंस, प्रॉफिट लॉस, राइट? यही होता है ना इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ एनीथिंग.
यस सर.
तो इकोनॉमिक्स ऑफ इकोसिस्टम एंड बायोडाइवर्सिटी है. तो क्या हम ये कह सकते हैं कि दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज परहैप्स अबाउट, और दिस इनिशिएटिव इज अबाउट द प्रॉफिट and loss of ecosystem management? If you manage them well, you will get some profit. If you don't manage them well, you will be in loss. Can we say that it is something related to that?
करेक्ट करेक्ट सर.
Okay, तो इतना हमने words have meaning टेक्निक से इतना तो समझ लिया. Okay. ऑल्सो देखो स्ट्रेस यूपीएससी का कैसे किया है इसने. ग्रामर देखो इसका, इन्वर्टेड कॉमास में है, फुल फॉर्म भी दिया है एंड एक्रोनिम टीब भी दिया है, राइट?
यस सर.
नीचे वाले स्टेटमेंट्स में देखो यूनेप, आईएमएफ, इनमें कोई फुल फॉर्म नहीं दिया, सिर्फ एक्रोनिम दिया हुआ है, राइट? फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट
यस
में.
सर. यस
तो
सर.
इसका मतलब क्या है? जब यूपीएससी तुमको ऑटोमेटिकली जब फुल फॉर्म, खुद ही फुल फॉर्म दे रहा है, तो देयर इज अ रीजन व्हाई इट इज गिविंग यू द फुल फॉर्म, राइट?
यस सर.
Because it wants you to decipher the meaning of the words. Words have meaning, इसीलिए तुमको दिया है words to decipher the
यस सर.
meaning. Okay. Otherwise टीप का कभी नहीं पढ़, ये सब चीजें पढ़ते नहीं है ना हम, रैंडम दिया है,
हाँ सर.
राइट? तो इसीलिए तुमको फुल फॉर्म दिया हुआ है. जहां भी यूपीएससी तुमको फुल फॉर्म देता है, देयर इज दिस हिंट, इट वांट्स यू टू प्रोसेस द फुल फॉर्म, द वर्ड्स. ओके.
राइट सर.
हाँ, और ये देखो ई भी कैपिटल, टीब का TEEB सब कैपिटल है, तो मतलब हर वर्ड का अपना सिग्निफिकेंस है यहाँ पे. ओके.
यस सर.
हाँ, ये सब चीजें जैसे जैसे प्रैक्टिस करोगे, क्वेश्चंस देखोगे, तो ये तुमको नोटिस में आने लगेगा. चलो, तो द क्वेश्चन किसके बारे में है रफली हमको आइडिया हो गया. अब स्टेटमेंट्स पे आओ. पहला स्टेटमेंट क्या कह रहा है?
इट इज द इनिशिएटिव होस्टेड बाय यूनाइटेड नेशन एनवायरनमेंट प्रोग्राम यूनेप के बारे में, और
यूनेप.
इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड, IMF एंड वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम.
ठीक है.
हाँ. तो ये बताया गया सर, जो ये इनिशिएटिव है TEEB वो जो है वो इनिशिएटिव है मतलब 3 ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, नेशन एनवायरनमेंट प्रोग्राम और इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड एंड वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम.
हम्म.
हाँ. तो सेकंड इज इट इज अ ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव दैट फोकस ऑन ड्राइंग अटेंशन टू द इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी. Third statement, it is presents an approach that can help decision makers recognize, demonstrate, and capture the value of ecosystem and biodiversity. Or the select the correct answer using the code given below. So sir, the answer is as per me the statement number 2 and 3.
फर्स्ट क्यों गलत है?
सर बिकॉज यूनाइटेड एनवायरमेंट प्रोग्राम हो सकता है सर,
तो
इंटरकम्युनिटी फंड इकोनॉमिक से रिलेटेड है, वो भी हो सकता है।
हम्म
वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम, एक मिनट सर, एक ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव दैट फोकस ऑन ड्राइंग अटेंशन टू इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट ऑफ बायोडायवर्सिटी. It present an approach that can help decision maker recognize, demonstrate, and capture the value of ecosystem and biodiversity.
चलो सबसे आसान स्टेटमेंट उठा लो, सबसे आसान कौन सा लग रहा है इन तीनों में से?
Sir, it was second.
सेकंड आसान लग रहा है। इट्स अ ग्लोबल
Uh,
इनिशिएटिव दैट फोकसेस ऑन
focus
ड्राइंग
on drawing
अटेंशन
attention
टू
to
द
economic
इकोनॉमिक बेनिफिट्स। तो ये तो
benefit.
वैसा ही है जैसे हमने इन्फर किया,
हाँ सर,
जो नाम
करेक्ट।
टीब से जो हमने इन्फर किया, ये तो वैसी ही कुछ बात बोल रहा है।
हाँ,
और इस स्टेटमेंट में कहीं भी तुमको कुछ इनफॉर्मल वर्ड या कुछ ऐसा एक्स्ट्रा वर्ड या कुछ
नो
यूपीएससी
नो,
तुम्हारा अटेंशन कहीं खींचने की कोशिश कर रहा है, कुछ स्ट्रॉन्ग टोन वर्ड देके कुछ ऐसा लग रहा है कहीं पर भी?
ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव। सर अगर हम इस पे फोकस करें तो सर मैं इसमें ना सिर्फ एक ही वर्ड है जिसपे हम फोकस कर सकते हैं, ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव। बाकी तो हमने जो रेफर करा था जो क्वेश्चन है, उसमें तो सेम ही मतलब उसका स्टेटमेंट है सर।
तो ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव पहले स्टेटमेंट में
हाँ
ग्लोबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की बात कर रहा है, तो ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव
हाँ,
हो ही सकता है।
ग्लोबल इनिशिएटिव हो सकता है।
तो बस ठीक है, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
हाँ।
तो सेकंड स्टेटमेंट में कोई इशू नहीं है,
नो सर।
करेक्ट होना चाहिए।
हाँ सर।
चलो गुड, अब आ जाओ थर्ड में, या कोई भी फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड में कौन सा, और अब नेक्स्ट कौन सा लग रहा है तुमको इजी दोनों में से?
सर थर्ड,
चलो पढ़ो।
it present an approach that can help decision makers recognize, demonstrate, and capture the value of ecosystem and biodiversity.
हम्म
Sir, as you say that के economics and biodiversity से सर importance of आपने बोला ना economics है, सर
आपने मत
importance
बोलो,
of
मैंने कुछ नहीं
biodiversity।
बोला, तुम कर रही हो जो कर रही हो, मैंने
हाँ सर,
कुछ नहीं बोला।
importance of
हाँ
biodiversity, तो
हाँ,
सर थर्ड स्टेटमेंट तो करेक्ट है।
करेक्ट है, ठीक है, बिकॉज वैसा ही कुछ हमने नाम से इन्फर
हाँ,
किया है, राइट।
इन्फर किया था।
अगेन थर्ड में ये देखना है कहीं कुछ ट्रैप, कहीं एक्स्ट्रा वर्ड, कहीं इनफॉर्मल वर्ड, कहीं कुछ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग टोन्ड वर्ड हो, ऐसा कुछ हमको नजर आ रहा है क्या?
Present an approach that can help decision maker recognize, demonstrate, and capture the value of ecosystem biodiversity. No, sir.
नहीं आ रहा ना, तो मतलब ठीक है, होना
ठीक
चाहिए
है।
करेक्ट, राइट। अब
Yes,
आ
sir.
जाओ फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट पे, बताओ।
It is an initiative hosted by United Nations Environment
अच्छा, बस एक
Program.
चीज मैं बोलना चाहूंगा बिफोर यू
हाँ,
प्रोसेस। देखो कल को 2024 में यू मे गेट दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन एज अ क्वेश्चन विदाउट ऑप्शंस, जैसे वन स्टेटमेंट ओनली, टू स्टेटमेंट, ऑल थ्री स्टेटमेंट्स और नन ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट, ऐसे करके ऑप्शंस भी आ सकता है।
yes, sir.
या फिर ऐसा भी आ सकता है विद ऑप्शंस, वन एंड टू, टू एंड थ्री टाइप्स, ओके।
हाँ सर।
तो हमको दोनों के लिए रेडी रहना है। तो
हाँ
जब
सर। हाँ सर।
जब वन एंड मतलब जब विद ऑप्शंस आएगा, स्टेटमेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस के साथ आएगा, तो
Yeah.
हमको क्या करना है कि तीनों स्टेटमेंट्स में से सबसे आसान वाला जो हमारे लिए स्टेटमेंट है, विच इज कॉल्ड लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट, ओके, इनफैक्ट द
Yeah.
लोएस्ट हैंगिंग फ्रूट, पहले उसको कैप्चर करना है। तो जो सबसे इजी स्टेटमेंट तुमको लगे उसको प्रोसेस करो, उस पे कॉल ले लो, करेक्ट है कि फॉल्स है, फिर ऑप्शंस में जाओ, देखो क्या एलिमिनेट हो रहा है, ठीक है। और
Okay, sir.
फिर बेस्ड ऑन दैट कितने ऑप्शंस बचते हैं, फिर तुम नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट देखो कौन सा नेक्स्ट इजी है, उस पे कॉल लो, फिर वापस ऑप्शंस पे आओ। तो ये दिस इज कॉल्ड द लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट अप्रोच, ओके।
Okay, sir.
बट मान लो यूपीएससी अगर तुमको नहीं देगा स्टेटमेंट कॉम्बिनेशन, तो तुमको तीनों पे ही कॉल लेना पड़ेगा। इन दैट केस ऑल स्टेटमेंट्स बिकम लो हैंगिंग फ्रूट। वो फिर स्टेटमेंट इस तरीके के बनाएगा कि वो प्रोसेसेबल होने ही होने हैं फिर, ठीक है। तो
Yes,
डरना
sir.
नहीं है, अगर ऑप्शन नहीं दे, कॉम्बिनेशन स्टेटमेंट कॉम्बिनेशन नहीं दे, तो डरने की बात नहीं है, वो
नहीं।
स्टेटमेंट फिर प्रोसेसेबल होंगे। और अगर तुमको वो फोर्स कर रहा है कॉल लेने के लिए, अब देखो इसमें सेकंड एंड थर्ड स्टेटमेंट्स तो हमको पता है करेक्ट है, लेकिन अब तुम ऑप्शंस में
Yes.
आओगी, सी और डी में देखो दोनों में सेकंड एंड थर्ड है, फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट पे तुमको
हाँ
कॉल
सर।
लेना ही पड़ेगा, तभी तुम इस क्वेश्चन को मार्क कर सकते हो। अगर वो जबरदस्ती तुमसे कॉल लेने को बोल रहा है यूपीएससी फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट के बारे में, दैट मीन्स दिस इज अ स्टेटमेंट विच इज वर्थ टेकिंग अ कॉल, मतलब कुछ ना कुछ हिंट, कुछ ना कुछ होगा कि तुम कॉल ले सको। तो डरने की जरूरत नहीं होनी चाहिए, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
अगर उस स्टेटमेंट में ऐसा कुछ होता कि वो कॉल लेने लायक नहीं होता तो वो कॉम्बिनेशन देगा ही नहीं फिर ऑप्शन का उस तरीके से। फाइन। तो
ओके सर।
अब लो, अब कॉल लो फर्स्ट पे।
It is initiative hosted by United Nations Environment Program, International Monetary Fund, and World Economic Forum.
क्या लग रहा है? बहुत ज्यादा टाइम नहीं है हमारे पास करिश्मा।
Sir, it was also correct.
दिस इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट। ओके, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू यू आंसर शुड बी डेल्टा। एनीवन एल्स
Yes.
फीलिंग आंसर शुड नॉट बी डेल्टा? एनीवन फीलिंग आंसर शुड नॉट बी डेल्टा? हाँ, आपका क्या नाम है? आ, आप कुछ बोल रहे हो क्या? सिग्नल बहुत खराब है, समझ में नहीं आया कुछ भी। करण।
सर एक्चुअली आईएमएफ जो सा है वो मॉनेटरी प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करता है कंट्रीज को, सो
हम्म।
दैट कैन बी एलिमिनेटेड फ्रॉम दिस।
शाबाश, बस दैट्स इट, दैट्स इट। करिश्मा, आईएमएफ तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है ना?
हाँ सर।
1991 में हमने भी हेल्प ली थी आईएमएफ से।
यस सर। यस सर।
तो जब भी कुछ ये काम करता है तो न्यूज़ में रहता ही है, कोई लोन, कोई
हाँ सर, रेड है।
काम, कुछ भी। इन्वायरमेंट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में कभी भी तुमने आईएमएफ सुना है? कभी भी
नहीं। नो सर, नो सर।
नहीं सुना? तो फिर इसका मतलब क्या है? अगर तुमने आईएमएफ नहीं सुना इन्वायरमेंट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, एंड आईएमएफ एक इतनी इंपॉर्टेंट बॉडी है कि जब भी न्यूज़ में रहता है तो तुमको पता होता है कि ये न्यूज़ में है, राइट? है कि नहीं?
यस सर।
हाँ। तो अगर तुमने कभी नहीं सुना आईएमएफ को एनवायरनमेंट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, सिंपल दैट मीन्स कि वो करता ही नहीं है एनवायरनमेंट में काम, इसलिए नहीं है न्यूज में। तो इसको इस रीजन से गलत कर दो। जो अभी मैं टेक्निक जो तुमको बता रहा हूँ, इसको चाहे तुम रिलेटेड नॉट रिलेटेड बोल लो, बिकॉज आईएमएफ इज रिलेटेड टू मॉनिटरी मैनेजमेंट एंड नॉट एनवायरमेंट मैनेजमेंट। इसको रिलेटेड नॉट रिलेटेड से कर लो। या एक और टेक्निक है, अगली क्लास में करेंगे, वुड हैव हर्ड। वुड हैव हर्ड मतलब कोई चीज अगर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेटमेंट होता है तो उसमें अगर हमने तैयारी ढंग से करी है, सही से करी है, तो हम उसको वो पक्का हमको पता होगा। तो इसमें भी वो लग जाएगा, जैसे अगर आईएमएफ एनवायरनमेंट में कुछ भी करेगा तो बड़ी बड़ी न्यूज में रहेगा वो कि आईएमएफ ने कुछ किया है एनवायरनमेंट में, तो वो हम पक्का
राइट
सुन
सर।
लेंगे। तो वो वुड हैव हर्ड हो जाता है। ठीक है, तो वुड हैव हर्ड से भी ये गलत हो जाएगा स्टेटमेंट। रिलेटेड नॉट रिलेटेड से भी गलत है ये स्टेटमेंट। ठीक है, इट इज नॉट
ओके।
रिलेटेड टू एनवायरमेंट, सो वट एवर इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज टॉकिंग अबाउट, इट इज रॉन्ग। यही सीखा ना हमने आरएनआर में।
यस सर।
That's it. That is why first is wrong. Okay.
ओके सर।
And UNEP and IMF का फुल फॉर्म नहीं दिया है, इसका मतलब यू आर सपोज टू नो इट। ठीक है, इसीलिए नहीं दिया है।
यस सर।
यूपीएससी एक्सपेक्ट्स दिस मच बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम यू, इसीलिए
हाँ
नहीं
सर।
दिया है। दैट्स इट। ओके, एनीवन, एनी डाउट, एनी query in this question? Raise your hand, please. Nothing? Okay. Next question, who wants to try? Please raise your hand. Nobody wants to try. Is that so? What is your name, my friend? iPad is the name being shown. What is your name?
सर मुकेश।
अच्छा, मुकेश। अच्छा, एक सेकेंड। आई एम गिविंग द क्वेश्चन।
ओके सर।
पढ़ो।
Okay. What is the purpose of setting up of a small finance bank in India? So basically, this question is talking about a small finance bank,
नेम्स आर मीनिंग
and
डिसाइफर करो,
of
एसएफबी
course,
से क्या समझे?
of course, small finance bank से इतना तो पता चलता है कि we are talking about like bank which इतना ही है सर कि small finance bank है, ठीक है, and
किस टाइप
it
का
can
फाइनेंस
be
दे रहे
in
हैं ये?
स्मॉल लाइक माइक्रो फाइनेंस हो गया,
हाँ,
या फिर
छोटे
मतलब
अमाउंट का
ज्यादा
फाइनेंस
बड़ा
दे रहे
नहीं।
हैं, ये बोलो ना।
राइट राइट।
हाँ,
इट इज नॉट दैट मच कि जो कमर्शियल बैंक देते हैं उतना नहीं देता है।
अगर
सो
इसने
वी
अलग
कैन
से
कम टू
स्मॉल
दिस।
फाइनेंस बोला तो मतलब ये स्मॉल ही है। अगर अदरवाइज सिर्फ
एग्जैक्टली।
बैंक बोल देता तो मतलब किसी भी अमाउंट के लोन की बात कर रहे हो तुम। लेकिन डेडिकेटेड स्मॉल नाम ही यूज हो रखा है तो मतलब ये स्मॉल ही करेगा, दैट्स इट। ये जो नॉर्मल
एग्जैक्टली।
कमर्शियल बैंक्स करते हैं वो भी नहीं है, उससे भी डेडिकेटेड, ये सिर्फ स्मॉल फाइनेंसेस के लिए, इसीलिए नाम में अलग से ये लिखा गया है। आगे पढ़ो।
Okay. First statement, to
हम्म
supply credit to small business units.
हम्म
So the statement is also talking about the same thing what we have just read.
स्मॉल
Supply
बिजनेस
credit to
यूनिट
small
के
business
नीड
unit.
स्मॉल ही होंगे, इसीलिए।
Exactly. It can
हाँ
be a small unit, a small business,
हाँ,
or like whatever, small farmers.
अगर मैं इस स्टेटमेंट में स्मॉल वर्ड हटा दूं, टू सप्लाई क्रेडिट टू बिजनेस यूनिट्स, फिर क्या करोगे?
Then it should not be,
हाँ,
because then it can be any amount of
एनी
loan
अमाउंट एनी बिजनेस
which you
यूनिट।
are sanctioning to
हाँ
the. It
हाँ,
can be to Ambani's also.
यस यस,
So
पॉसिबिलिटी इज देयर, दैट्स
okay,
व्हाई ये फिर गलत
possibility.
होगा। ओके, आगे।
Hmm. Second statement, to supply credit to small and marginal farmers.
हम्म
I think same thing is
ठीक
being
है।
deciphered
हम्म
again.
हम्म
And the third statement, to encourage young entrepreneur to set up business, particularly in rural areas.
हम्म
In third statement, it was good till business, but when they mentioned about rural area, it
हम्म
becomes like a being a very specific to the particular things.
हम्म,
Small finance bank can be in urban area also, so it should
ओके।
not be specific to
हम्म
rural. Third is going to be a wrong, and the
हम्म,
option comes out of 1 and 2.
1 and 2, ओके। एनीवन getting any other answer or any doubt in this question? No? All right. एक और चीज का ध्यान दो, थर्ड स्टेटमेंट में देखो, लैंग्वेज देखो, टू एनकरेज यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स। सबसे पहले तो ये यंग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स वाला जो लैंग्वेज है ना, ये बहुत फॉर्मल तो नहीं है, बिकॉज एंटरप्रेन्योर इज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर। आइडियली व्हाट इट शुड बी टू एनकरेज entrepreneurs to set up small units, या ऐसे करके कुछ हो सकता है। यंग entrepreneurs उसको एडजेक्टिव लगा के
Exactly.
कर रहा है, तो सबसे पहला एक रेड फ्लैग यहाँ पे जनरेट होता है। दूसरी बात, यंग entrepreneurs टू सेट अप बिजनेस पर्टिकुलरली इन रूरल एरियाज, तो वो स्पेशलाइज जो रूरल एरियाज को कर रहा है, जरूरी थोड़ी है कि रूरल एरियाज वाले बिजनेस स्मॉल फाइनेंस वाले ही हो। मे बी इट इज नॉट स्मॉल फाइनेंस, राइट? सो इट इज नॉट रिलेटेड, वॉट एवर इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू द क्वेश्चन is not correct. Whatever is related is correct. Whatever is not related is not correct. And this is the reason why the word small was specifically mentioned, and the word small is specifically mentioned in 1 and 2. The third one, the third statement is not mentioning this small nature. So it is not correct. This is the reason. Okay. आगे चलते हैं. Who wants to try the next question? Okay, Aditi, chalo. Official channel में question is given. Try it.
Um, the nationwide soil health card scheme aims at expanding the cultivable area under irrigation, enabling the banks to assess the quantum of loans to be granted to farmers on the basis of soil quality, and checking the overuse of fertilizers in farmlands. So मुझे इसमें सेकंड स्टेटमेंट सही नहीं लग रहा है, बिकॉज
पहले मेरे को
अगर
क्वेश्चन स्टेट, अदिति, आदत ये होनी चाहिए, पहले क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट को प्रोसेस कर लो, इवन बिफोर रीडिंग द स्टेटमेंट्स व्हिच आर गिवन below the question. Okay, question statement means ऊपर वाला, the nationwide soil health card scheme aims at, this is the question statement or the given information, right?
yes,
So first, it is best to have a habit of deciphering what the question statement is talking about and what we can infer. Words have meaning, names have meaning. यहीं पर कर लो without reading the statements, because if you read the statements first and then try to apply, use words have meaning in the question statement, there's a chance that you might get biased because of some information given in some of the statements. And then you may decipher something in to favor what already is a bias in your mind. वो फिर गड़बड़ हो सकती है, ठीक है? तो स्टेटमेंट पढ़ने से पहले डिसाइफर करो क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट का, फिर स्टेटमेंट पढ़ो.
तो क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट ये बोल रहा है कि जो सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड है उसका एम क्या है,
हाँ,
वो
तो
है
क्या
किस लिए,
सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड का मतलब क्या हुआ?
कि सॉइल की हेल्थ
हम्म.
को की क्वालिटी चेक करके
यस,
उसको एक सॉइल को एक कार्ड मिलेगा कि ये
यस,
सॉइल ऐसे है.
यस, टू improve the health of the soil, right?
यस सर, यस.
Okay, very good. And it's a nationwide scheme, that is the other thing that is given. चलो अब
नेशन
आ जाओ, अब कौन सा सबसे इजी स्टेटमेंट लग रहा है तीनों में से?
सर थर्ड स्टेटमेंट, बिकॉज
हम्म.
overuse of fertilizers in
हम्म.
farmlands, of
हम्म.
course soil health कार्ड उससे चेक करेगा.
करेगा. ओके, सो रिलेटेड है क्वेश्चन से,
हाँ जी, हाँ
शुड बी
जी मुझे
करेक्ट.
लग. यस सर.
ओके, उसके बाद कौन सा लग रहा है?
सर मुझे फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट फिर भी रिलेटेबल लग रहा है, बट सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज
हम्म.
नॉट एग्जैक्टली रिलेटेबल,
हम्म.
क्योंकि वो बैंक का असेसमेंट है.
हम्म.
बैंक का असेसमेंट सॉइल क्वालिटी पे बेस कैसे
हम्म.
हो सकता है?
कैसे हो सकता है? तो आर यू सेइंग बैंक का किस चीज का असेसमेंट?
सर लोन देने का, बैंक टू असेस द क्वांटम ऑफ लोन्स टू बी ग्रांटेड
हम्म.
टू फार्मर्स ऑन द
हम्म.
बेसिस ऑफ सॉइल क्वालिटी.
हम्म.
और ये जो सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड है ये तो सॉइल की क्वालिटी बताएगा ना, तो इसके बेस पे
हम्म.
लोन सैंक्शंस होंगे.
हम्म.
तो हर सॉइल तो सेम नहीं होती, राइट?
यस.
और नेशन वाइड है, नेशन वाइड में मतलब सब इतना ज्यादा डाइवर्सिटी है सॉइल का.
हम्म.
फिर कहीं पे लोन्स इशू होंगे, कहीं पे
हम्म.
नहीं लोन्स इशू होंगे.
हम्म. बिल्कुल
तो वो मुझे सेकंड स्टेटमेंट मुझे गलत लग रहा है.
ठीक है.
तो थ्री ओनली.
नहीं, फर्स्ट फर्स्ट क्यों गलत लगा?
सर सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड कल्टीवेबल एरिया अंडर इरिगेशन, सर मैं मुझे फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट क्लियर नहीं था,
हम्म.
इसलिए मैंने थर्ड स्टेटमेंट देखा तो मुझे वो सही लगा, फिर सेकंड स्टेटमेंट मुझे गलत लगा. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट का आई हैव नो आइडिया.
ट्राई कर लो, चलो, लेट अस जस्ट सी.
एक्सपैंडिंग द कल्टीवेबल एरिया अंडर इरिगेशन, सर वो बोल रहा है कि कितना लैंड है जो
हम्म.
हम इरिगेशन से कल्टीवेट कर सकते हैं. तो आई थिंक ये सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड में आना चाहिए, बट फिर सेकंड स्टेटमेंट नहीं आनी चाहिए, तो ऑप्शन मैच नहीं हो रहा है.
ऑप्शन छोड़ दो, मान लो ऑप्शन नहीं है.
हम्म.
तीन ही स्टेट 2023 के एंगल से देखो, हर स्टेटमेंट पे कॉल लेना पड़ेगा. तो फर्स्ट करेक्ट होना चाहिए.
एक्सपैंडिंग, हाँ जी होना तो चाहिए. सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड, इरिगेशन भी एक सॉइल का फैक्टर होता है, सॉइल की क्वालिटी का फैक्टर होता है.
Expanding the cultivable area under irrigation. Okay, so you are saying two statements should be correct. Out of three,
सर
two should be correct.
नो सर, ओनली थर्ड इज करेक्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू मी.
नहीं, तो अभी तुम कह रही हो कि फर्स्ट भी करेक्ट है.
सर मैं उस पे स्टैंड ले रही हूँ, बिकॉज जो वो स्टेटमेंट है वो ये बात कर रहा है कि इरिगेशन के लिए लैंड कितनी एक्सपैंडेबल है. वो
हम्म.
लैंड की क्वालिटी की डायरेक्ट बात नहीं कर रहा.
हाँ.
तो वो मुझे सही नहीं लग रही है.
अच्छा, सही नहीं लग रही है
हाँ
फर्स्ट
जी,
वाला, और सेकंड वाला भी सही नहीं लग रहा है, थर्ड वाला ही सिर्फ सही लग रहा है बिकॉज इट इज रिलेटेड टू द नेम सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड.
हाँ
Okay,
जी.
fair enough. Anyone else wants to share their approach? Getting any other answer? Lavanya? You won't be able to speak. Okay. So then I'll have to move to people who can speak, Lavanya. I hope that's okay. Second one is related as the bank needs some basis to decide. No, okay, because so Lavanya is saying banks need some basis to decide what amount of loan to give. It should be an aim of. The question is saying what is the aim of soil health card scheme. So the aim of soil health card is to enable the banks to give loans to the farmers. Mukesh?
Hello. Yes,
हाँ,
sir.
बोलो.
Sir, I was talking about the first statement,
Hmm.
expanding the cultivable area under irrigation.
Hmm.
I think when we read about soil health card,
Hmm.
so its aim is just about like the fertilizers and the like urea and all which we
Hmm.
use,
Hmm.
but it
Hmm.
does not talk about like how much it should be expended to what
Hmm.
extent. So
Hmm.
these are the things are not mentioned in the
Hmm.
soil health card.
Hmm.
The name itself explain it's talking about only the health of the soil,
Hmm.
nothing else.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I think the first is
Okay.
going to be wrong.
Yes. And I feel this is the same reason why the second statement also should be wrong. Because the name is very narrow. The name is soil health card scheme. Simple as that. So it's a card which enables the farmer to maintain the health of the soil. In whatever way the soil health can be maintained, that will be included, but nothing else. Just like home charges question. What all is covered under home charge? We did that question, right? Have we done the home charges question?
Yes, sir.
I'll just send the home charges question. एक second. Same approach वहां पर भी है. Guys, just see the question which I'm sharing now and compare it with the soil health card question. Right? Home charges क्या कह रहे हैं? With reference to the period of colonial rule in India, home charges, words have meaning. Home charges in inverted commas, capital H, capital C. That means both of these words have got their own independent existence and both have a significance in the name. So these are charges or expenses related to home. What does home mean? Colonial rule in India. So home should mean India. That means home
Indeed.
charges is a term. And also look at the next description. Home charges formed an important part of drain of wealth from India, right? So we all know about drain of wealth, and this was an exploitative feature of the British rule in India. So they want to drain everything out of India. So they've termed this formal. They created. Mukesh, तेरा mic mute कर यार. They created this formal term, home charges. So these are charges related to home. That is India. So anything that is related to India should be covered in it, but nothing that is related to India will be a part of it, right? Because it is home charge, nothing else. It is home charge. So what all constituted home charges? Look at the statements. Funds used to support the India office in London. This office is in London, but it is India office, right? So dalo. India related hai to dalo home charges. Okay. Second, funds used to pay salaries and pensions of British personnel engaged in India. Engaged in India. ठीक है, डालो home charge. This is why they will maximize the drain, right? They'll maximize what they can draw out of India. And lastly, funds used for waging wars outside India by the British. That means wherever outside India any war was waged, that is a part of home charges. This should not be in the answer because it is not related to India. British fought so many wars, right? Some in Africa, some in Southeast Asia, somewhere all around the world they were fighting wars. So waging wars outside India. Why should India bear the cost of any war that British waged outside India? So the term home charges, this will not fit the red lines of home charges. The red lines are it should be related to India. Anything it can be, till the time it is related to India, it will be put under home charges because the British wanted to drain India. They wanted to maximize the benefit they are getting out of India. But they cannot put anything which is not related to India. So the third one is not related to India, related, not related technique, right? So third one will not be in the answer, except for the third one. The first two will be the answer. Now look at the soil health card question. Just like home charges, soil health card, narrow is the name, right? Scope is narrow. Soil health card, Janani Suraksha Yojana, narrow, right? So anything dealing with health of the soil will be a part of this, but nothing dealing with health of the soil will not be a part. Nothing dealing with soil health card will be a part of the scheme. So first and second are not directly dealing with health of the soil. These are just peripheral to the health of the soil. So these are not directly benefiting soil health in any way. So these should not be in the answer. That is why only the third statement is correct in this question, which is bravo is the answer. Doubts? You should have doubt.
So, but this is very subjective now, because exam settings में हम बहुत ही irrational बहुत मतलब सारे options में rationally thinking नहीं हो पाता.
Practice के ऊपर है Aditi. It is not subjective. It is dependent on how much practice, how many times you have seen PYQs. It's not being subjective is different. Practicing PYQs is different. And this is the reason why when you are in exam, you should first do the questions which have some precedent in the PYQs. नए क्वेश्चन जो एकदम नया है, सबके लिए नया है, तुम्हारे लिए भी नया है, उसमें नहीं समय लगाना, बिकॉज उसमें फ्रेशनेस है, न्यूनेस है, उसमें गलत होने का चांस ज्यादा है ना, बिकॉज प्रेसिडेंट नहीं है हमारे पास उसका. लेकिन जिसका प्रेसिडेंट है तो उसमें तो वो प्रेसिडेंट याद आएगा ना तुमको. जब 5 बार 7 बार 10 बार PYQs करोगे 2011 ऑनवर्ड्स, तो यू विल have that thing in mind, right? कि soil health card का क्वेश्चन था, जननी सुरक्षा योजना का क्वेश्चन था, होम चार्जेस का क्वेश्चन था, उसमें इस तरीके से डील हुआ था. You will have some precedent in your mind, right?
Yes.
And if you have done 3, 4, 5, 7 questions of this kind, so you will at least have seen these kind of traps, whatever are the different traps which UPSC has put in these questions. You will already be aware of those traps, right?
Yes.
So at least you will not be falling for those traps in the exam. And this is where the precedent is important. This is where the PYQs are important. That's why I stress कि कम से कम 5 बार तो करना ही करना है.
Yes, sir.
तो सब्जेक्टिव मत बोलो. अगर टेक्निकल में प्रॉब्लम है, मतलब लॉजिक नहीं बैठ रहा, या if I'm not making sense, if the technique is not making sense, if you are not able to understand, वो बताओ, वो significant होगा.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Is there anything which you are not able to understand?
No, sir.
तो फिर बाकी प्रैक्टिस की बात है. ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
So that will be all, guys. I think 1 घंटा के करीब हो चुका होगा क्लास को. You want to do more questions or should we stop here? No response. Okay, Lavanya. More questions. I do have a few more questions that we can look at. Chalo. Who wants to try? Yellow. Who wants to try? Please raise your hand. Vasant, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, try.
Which of the following leaf modifications occurs in the desert areas to inhibit water loss? So in the question, leaf modifications. So how these leaf modifications are happening in the desert area? So to prevent the water loss. So first, first is hard and waxy leaves. 2, tiny leaves. Thorns instead of leaves. So like first statement will be right, like hard and waxy leaves. Like we have seen but second statement, tiny leaves will not be like a possibility at all in the desert.
Will not be a possibility at all.
Tiny leaves, yeah, there's chances are there. But third statement is also right. Thorns instead of leaves, absolutely right. First statement, hard and waxy leaves, tiny leaves, thorn instead of. So 1 and 3 are highly possible. So the answer will be D, 1, 2, and 3.
Chalo, you got benefit from the options. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You got benefit from the options, but you were not very much confident about tiny leaves. See, the nature of this question is, it's a very much standard fact question. At least the first and the third statements are standard facts, right? They are given in our books.
Yes, sir.
Second statement, I don't remember if it is given in the book, but generally the nature of these kind of questions is some elements will be standard facts, but some elements will not be directly given in the book. So you'll have to take a logical call in those elements which are not given in the book. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So you have to read the question again and take a call on the second one. Now you know that, now you feel that the answer is 1, 2, and 3 because only one option had 1 and 3. But give me a reason why second one is correct otherwise. Give me some logical reason.
Sir, to the water loss will be dependent upon the size of the leaves.
Yes.
The size, how much.
Yes.
So, in which modification cannot be like hard. So the leaves can be become tiny. So it's possible, very much so.
Very much possible, right? So just notice the tone of the question. Which of the following leaf modification occurs, right? Occurs in desert area. So it is just talking about occurrence. It is not talking about the degree of occurrence, right? It just has to exist. So the scope is wide or narrow here?
It's wide, sir.
It's wide. It's wide, right? It is just talking about occurrence, and also it is saying to inhibit water loss. So it should minimize water loss. Okay. So in desert, you have to be very careful of what you are saying. When you say tiny leaves is not possible at all in the desert, you can say this statement only when you are aware of all the kinds of plants which exist in desert areas. Then only you can, and that also all over the world. Look at the scope of the question. The question is not saying just in India. It is saying in desert areas.
Okay, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Wide.
And it's not even saying hot deserts, all deserts, hot desert, cold desert, everywhere, everything.
Okay, sir.
So you can't say that tiny leaves are not there. In fact, if the question is reformulated to say, consider the following leaf adaptations or plant adaptations in desert areas. Tiny, or consider the following statements: existence of tiny leaves. If the statement is given like existence of tiny leaves, and like other statements also are there, and you are asked which of the above are leaf adaptations in desert areas. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Then existence of tiny leaves. If you say that it is not correct, then what is the statement that you are saying? That existence of tiny leaves is not possible in desert areas, right? If you are saying that existence of tiny leaves is a wrong statement, then what is the correct statement? That existence of tiny leaves is not possible in desert areas. That is the statement you are saying, right?
Yes, sir. So,
but you just see the gravity of the statement that you are saying. If the statement which you like are saying is correct, if that statement were given, will you mark it as correct?
No, sir. Like, I'm understanding, sir. Understanding. Okay.
You got the point? You have to go for the energy, the degree of the statement. Kitna strong bol raha hai? Tone of the statement. Is it a hard tone statement or is it a small, soft toned statement? So, isliye, I mean, this is a correct statement. Just saying tiny leaves. Okay. It is not even saying extremely tiny leaves. If it said extremely tiny leaves, then some chance of incorrectness could be there. Okay. Then we'll have to see what other information is given in the question, what is given in the question statement, other statements, all of that combination we have to take into account. But extremely tiny leaves is stressing on the degree of the tiny, the size of the leaves, extremely tiny leaves. Here it is just saying tiny leaves, right?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's it. if thorns, instead of thorns, it said long thorns. Okay, yeah, very long thorns. Okay. Then not all plants will have very long thorns, right?
Yes, sir.
Then
yes.
Incorrect.
Okay, sir.
Right. So it's not stressing on degree, it's just stressing on existence. Thorns, any size thorns. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That will come with practice.
Okay, sir.
One more question I have, and then we'll stop for today. Who wants to try? Give me a raised hand. Who has not tried so far? Karan, I think you have not spoken. Would you like to give it a try? Are you there, Karan? Neeraj, you want to try?
Yes, sir, I will try.
Okay.
The question is, which of the following is or are the aim or aims of Digital India plan of Government of India? So the stress is here on Digital India. It is talking about the aims of Digital India plan. Okay.
So what do you infer? Names are meaning. Pehle batao.
Okay, names or words have meaning. So we are digitalizing the India.
In what comes to your mind when you think of digitalizing India?
Like internet, like technologies.
What more? Digitalizing India, just giving internet and technology?
There can be, the term is wide, right?
Yes, yes. So how will the government digitize India? In what all ways will the government digitize India?
What all?
Some example, some public services, or can we say e-governance kind of thing is a part of this?
E-governance, yes, sir.
That will be digital. Because see, when you say that it is only giving of internet or digital infrastructure, it could mean just to the urban areas. Is the question about urban areas?
No, sir. Yeah, the statement is wide. I'm not constraining that to just internet, sir. It has.
So you should think as wide as possible.
Yeah.
If the question is wide, you should think what all could be there in digital India.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Like DBT.
हाँ, DBT भी part हो जाएगा.
DBT, e-governance.
हाँ, okay,
yes,
chalo. Now you have it in mind.
Yes, sir, yes.
Read the statements.
Statement 1 says formation of India's own internet companies like China did. Okay. Internet.
Next. Pehle read all the statement. Go for the easiest one.
Fine. Okay, sir. Statement 2 says establish a policy framework to encourage overseas MNCs, multinational corporations that collects big data to build their large data centers within our national geographical boundaries. Okay. Statement 3 says connect many of our villages to internet and bring Wi-Fi to many of our schools, public places, and major tourist centers. Okay. Sir, statement 3 seems to be a low-hanging fruit because it is directly related to digitalizing India. Like it is talking about India. It is connecting our villages, schools, and all major public places with internet and Wi-Fi connections. This can be this is desirable actually. This is what we can expect from our government.
Okay.
And the statement is also formal and related to digital India. So there are no loose ends. So there is a high chance that this statement can be correct.
Okay.
So this is low hanging fruit.
Fine.
And if we talk about statement 1, it says formation of India's own internet companies like China did. Sir, this is overarching the constraint of the question, sir. Like it is talking about digital India, and statement 1 is like too wide. Like it is saying like China did. India generally any sovereign country will not follow typically a country's path like China did, like US did. It is talking about the subjectivity.
Good.
So, and it is talking about, the question is about aim or aims.
Right.
So typical meaning of digital India should come here, sir.
Yes, absolutely. And it is in inverted commas also,
Inverted
with
commas.
capital D, capital I. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So typical meaning of digital India should come. So statement 1 is not that related to digital India in that sense. So we can eliminate statement 1.
Okay.
And even if we talk about statement 2, establish a policy framework to encourage MNCs collect big data. Okay. So this individually, this statement seems to be a like desirable, sir. Encouraging MNCs, that is what many of the governments will do to attract investments and so and so. Many countries will generally attract MNCs, right? But not in the context of digital India. There, the question is talking about aims of digital India. This may be encouraging, but it is not related to digital India.
Okay. So something like small finance bank and that other questions we did, home charges, and the same approach you are saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Like if we talk about that soil health card scheme, also the question talks about what is the aim of soil health card scheme.
Right.
So aim is very important. That term is very important, sir.
Right.
So I feel that if we compare 1 and 2 statements with statement 3, obviously both the statements will be incorrect because they are not directly related to digital India aspect.
Okay.
So I feel statement 3 is correct, sir.
All right.
Only statement 3.
So only one statement is correct, or answer otherwise is bravo. Third.
Yes, sir. Bravo.
Fine. Good approach. Any doubt, anybody? Any objection to what Neeraj has said? You want to share your approach if you have any other answer? No?
So the second statement is talking about establishing a policy framework, no, to collect big data and data centers in our national geographic. So why this is not being related to the question statement?
You have been preparing for civil services for quite some time now. You tell me. And this is a privacy related matter, right? More of data centers and like big data to have their, what do they call?
Yes, but it is talking of policy framework, not about privacy or privacy framework or anything.
What is the question about?
Digital India.
Is it digitalizing India? Is this thing, is what the second statement saying? Will it lead to digitizing your country? Will it digitize your country? Firstly, you have to determine what is digitizing your country.
Okay.
Do you say that the third statement is correct? Are you agreeing with the third statement?
Yes, sir.
If this is what digitizing the country means, is the second statement related to the third statement in this context?
No, I see it now.
Right?
Yes.
So what the second statement is doing is not really digitizing India. It is more relevant in the context of cyber security, in the context of data, big data management, and having their data centers, all of that, like within India to regulate, to control, right? Like cyber domain. That's fine. But it is not digitizing India in the sense of e-governance, in the sense of the term Digital India plan of the government of India. It's not that, right?
Yes, sir.
Also, the other aspect of would have heard, the second statement is talking about something significant, right? Privacy, yes, and data management and all of that. It is important, and we have like this issue in newspapers, editorials regularly.
Yes, sir.
Have we ever heard this issue in the context of digital India? The question is saying aim of digital India. Aim of digital India, right? Aims of digital India. So aims of any important plan, roughly we are aware of the aims, right? If not very precisely, at least roughly we know. Have we ever heard of like data centers kind of thing in the context of digital India.
Yes, but it was not talking about directly establishing data center. तो policy framework की बात कर रहा है.
तो policy framework से ही तो establish होगा ना. वो तो establish करना is just the next natural step.
Yes, ma'am.
So the point is it could be a part of some other scheme जिसका नाम फिर कुछ cyber privacy, data privacy कुछ और हो सकता है. But this scheme is not related to what the second statement is saying. Second statement is just about digital thing, but it is not digitizing India.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Digitizing India means governance through digitization, digital means.
Yes, sir.
Delivering public services through digital means. That is digitizing India, right?
Yes, sir.
These are a niche aspect of the broad digital domain. Right? So maybe some dedicated scheme could be there about, or some dedicated policy, etc. could be there about it, but it is not directly related to what the term digital India is saying. That is what I said. That is why I said, like, in these kind of questions, these are like very standard factish kind of questions, in the sense that you have heard of Digital India scheme, you have heard of Janani Suraksha Yojana, you have heard of Maternity Benefits Act, right? Forest Rights Act. UPSC will say which of the following statements about Indian Forest Acts or Indian Forest Conservation Act are correct. Then 1, 2, 3 statements. Some will be known, some will be easy, but there will be at least one statement which will create some confusion, right? So you have to take a call based on that, what you have heard, what is related, not related. On that context, you have to take a call, and practice only will help you with that.
Yes, sir.
Right? You can see the tagging that I've done for the question. You can see above the tagging, related, not related. What I've heard, IOTA is not the answer. Then there is another tag, LPSC, which is law, policy, schemes, etc. Okay, you press any of these tags, you will get the questions related to just these techniques or these categories of questions.
Okay.
Okay, so it is like that, but that stage you have not yet reached. First, you have to do all the ET 2023 questions 5 times, and then I'll tell you when you should be doing that. Right? But you have the resource for that. So there's a lot of time in hand, but then practice only. Keep making mistakes, keep asking questions. You are asking wonderful questions. Keep asking questions, keep making mistakes, and then only these things will clarify with time. Right?
Yes, sir.
So guys, that will be all in today's class. And next class, in the next class, we'll be doing the next technique. Would have heard is the name of the technique. So I'll let you know when we'll have the next class. Thank you for joining. In case anybody is interested in the paid elimination course, you can message me after, like, you can DM me after this class, and I'll share with you the details. Otherwise, the next class, when it will happen, I'll just update in the official channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.